Right now, a 12-hour standoff ends in an officer-involved shooting. 13 Action News reporter Nina Porciungola has been out there all day. She's live near Las Vegas Boulevard in Sahara, where streets are still blocked off right now. Nina?
Right, Tom, we are out here at the parking lot of the world's largest gift shop, where we are waiting for police to give us more information. A media briefing should happen any moment now. But as you can imagine, for people living in this area, this has been a very scary situation for them as the event unfolded, lasting for about 12 hours. And at one point, we were even asked to stay out of a block because we were in a line of fire. And I want to show you this Facebook video captured by one of the residents near that barricade, where you can clearly hear an explosion followed by car alarms going off.
Whoa.
And on your screen right now, you can see heavy police presence, armored vehicles, as multiple roads in the area of Baltimore and Fairfield were shut down. People were told to stay away. And police tell us that around 1:30 a.m. they located a suspect wanted for felonies in that area. The suspect refused to come out of the apartment and started to fire through the front door. The suspect refused to cooperate with police, and SWAT teams were called to the scene. He continued to fire more rounds, barricading himself for 12 hours. The incident ended with an officer-involved shooting. Police are not releasing information about his conditions yet. Now expect several streets out here to be blocked off for the next couple of hours. And as I mentioned earlier, we are waiting for a police briefing to happen any moment now. And as soon as we have more information, we will bring it to you. For now, we'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you, Nina. Well, now we want to take a live look outside. Well, we like to tell people it's a dry heat, but not the past couple days. It's been pretty humid out there. So, Dan, are things going to dry out anytime soon?
Oh, Tom, they dried out big time this morning. We're already dry out there, and we've got no humidity to talk about. Temperatures going up, no monsoon moisture to talk about. Look at your satellite. What a difference. It has been weeks since we have been this dry, and you know what? This is going to last over the next several days. High temperatures today. It was another hot one. Temperatures pushing 110. You can see 108 McCarran. We could still heat up. It's only 5 o'clock. Give it until 6 to get that latest number, and you can see right now temperatures actually above what that other map said. 109 actually at McCarran right now. Look at Henderson right now, 115. That gauge down there is always warmer because it's so low in the valley. Lower elevations always get warmer. Take a look at this as we head into the overnight. Still warm. 8 o'clock, you're talking above 100. Mid-90s by midnight. That's it. Now, we got dry air in place, and we have excessive heat watches to talk about. Yes, temperatures actually going up. We're going to take a look at the numbers coming up.
And developing right now, the Red Cross of Southern Nevada has opened a shelter at the Whitney Ranch Community Center in Henderson after a mobile home fire resulted in a power outage at a nearby community. Volunteers are reportedly providing meals, water, and cots to families from more than 40 homes. Power isn't expected to be restored until Monday. 13 Action News reporter Austin Carter talks to one of those families. He'll have more on that tonight on 13 Action News Live at 11. Well, activists, demonstrators, and survivors of gun violence gathered in Fairfax, Virginia this afternoon for the National March on the NRA. ABC's Daria Albinger has more on their fight for gun control.
NRA, bye bye. Outside of the National Rifle Association's Virginia headquarters, demonstrators calling out the gun lobby for its role in blocking gun control legislation and for its continued defense of unrestricted sales of the AR-15 and similar weapons.
United, we will overcome a Russian-funded NRA that puts profit before life, forgets the meaning of well-regulated, and most of all, threatens our democracy.
Organizers with a number of demands, including banning high-capacity magazines, the institution of universal background checks, revoking the nonprofit status of the NRA, and calling for more research on gun violence and its impact on public health. Among the demonstrators, survivors of the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School shooting. 17 students and staff members gunned down there last February.
I will never have the kind of fear and anxiety that my daughter did running down the hall at school with an AR-15 at her back. I do not care what the gun lobby thinks of me. We will break that lobby's grip on our legislators, and we will win.
The NRA also being targeted by New York State Governor Andrew Cuomo. The gun lobby claiming in a lawsuit that it's suffering grave financial harm, saying Cuomo and state regulators made it clear to banks and insurers that it is bad business in New York to do business with the NRA. The lawsuit asking the court to have the Cuomo administration cease its anti-NRA practices. For his part, Cuomo said Friday, the state is filing a motion to dismiss the lawsuit, adding, if I could have put the NRA out of business, I would have done it 20 years ago. Daria Albinger, ABC News, New York.
Well, close to 5,000 students are going back to school this year without vaccinations. That's according to the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Parents are allowed to skip the vaccinations for their children as long as they get an exemption from the district. They can cite medical reasons or religious beliefs. The RJ reports close to 5,000 exemptions were made last year because of religion, and close to 500 were due to medical reasons. The president's immigration policy getting a blowback this week. On Friday, a federal judge ruling the DACA program must be resumed, and in another ruling, a judge deciding the Trump administration is solely responsible for reuniting hundreds of children with their parents, those families separated at the U.S.-Mexico border. With more, here's ABC's Stephanie Ramos.
President Trump's immigration policy suffering two legal setbacks this past week. A federal judge ruling that the administration must restore DACA, an Obama-era program offering deportation relief for some 700,000 undocumented immigrants brought to the country as children, known as dreamers.
Some people call it dreamers. It's not dreamers. Don't fall into that trap.
The White House has 20 days to appeal that decision. The president suggesting he's willing to go all the way to the Supreme Court. Ali Tarabi, a DACA recipient from Iran, has lived in San Diego for 22 years.
Having this back and forth where one day we don't know if we're going to have any protections and we're up potentially could get deported or detained, to telling us, well, yeah, we'll keep the protections. It's difficult. I'm not going to lie to you. It's really emotionally difficult.
Judge John Bates, a George W. Bush appointee, is the third judge to order that the program be restarted. Bates calling the president's decision to end DACA last September arbitrary and capricious and inadequately explained. In another setback, the White House losing its argument that the ACLU and other charities should carry the burden of reunifying those remaining 572 children separated from their parents at the southern border. The judge saying it is the sole responsibility of the Trump administration, adding that for each unresolved case, there will be a permanently orphaned child. And that is 100% the responsibility of the administration. Stephanie Ramos, ABC News, New York.
All right, Golden Knights fans, listen up. Some exciting news. William Wild Bill Karlsson has signed on for a one-year contract extension through the 2018-2019 season. That contract worth $5.25 million. General Manager George McPhee says Karlsson has had a great year with the Knights, and they're excited to have him back for another season. And children can score a free backpack before tonight's Lights game. Just head to the Zappos tailgate party held at Cashman Field. It kicks off at 5:30. The first 2,000 kids under the age of 12 will get a free backpack, and you can catch some pre-match fireworks and meet the mascots from the Lights, the Golden Knights, the Aces, the 51s, and UNLV. It's a lot of mascots. The game against the Rio Grande Valley Toros will start at 8 o'clock. Our 13 Action News Supplies for Success drive just ended, and we want to thank you for your generosity. Because of you, teachers and parents at 5 Valley schools will have peace of mind for this upcoming school year. We received everything from pencils, whiteboard markers, and copy paper, and this is really a big deal because teachers usually have to dip into their own pockets to buy some of these supplies, and your donations will go a long way this year. The 13 Connects Supplies for Success is sponsored by Subaru of Las Vegas and the America First Credit Union. All right, well, Kiki, there's a new warning. Mesquite police tweeted out this picture of a sign, "Buckle up, Kiki, stay in your car." It's warning about the dangers of the Kiki Challenge. Across social media, several people have been posting videos to Drake's song In My Feelings, and sometimes they've actually been jumping out of moving cars and dancing on the side. And of course, Mesquite police says that's very dangerous, and you should always remember that your life is more than a bunch of likes, or is more important than a bunch of likes. An amazing rescue caught on camera, how an officer was able to save a baby's life, and a different type of summer camp, how these kids are learning to be the next cyber defenders. Well, now to an amazing rescue, all caught on camera. A Florida police officer is being called a hero tonight after he saved the life of a 14-month-old girl who can be seen there in this video choking on a chicken nugget. Her mother screaming for help in what looks to be the middle of a mall food court. The good news, the toddler is doing just fine now, and local media reports the mother sent a letter to the officer saying she will be forever in his gratitude. And back here at home, police are looking for this woman who's missing. Take a look there. Giovanna Pereira was last seen on August 2nd around 6 p.m. near Southern Highlands Parkway in Valley View. Anyone who's seen her is encouraged to call Metro at 702-828-3111. Well, when you think of summer camp, you might think of canoes and cooking s'mores, but how about a place to train what could be our next wave of cyber defenders? Chris Welch takes us there.
There's a visual of a floppy disk. So click on it, see what it does.
These students are part of a generation that wouldn't even know what a floppy disk was were it not for a school project.
I did this project in 4th grade about the 80s. It was like a back in time project.
But it's this generation that will protect us from future cybersecurity threats.
The Linux that we're going to use is Ubuntu.
It's a week-long cyber camp taking place in classrooms nationwide this summer. It's sponsored by the U.S. Air Force Association's Cyber Patriot program. They'll cover a range of cyber topics.
Stuff like hacking and engineering.
Although the H word,
a verboten word, yes,
is off limits for instructor Randy Mills.
The word hacker in the internet field has become so laden with negative connotations that people become panicked when they see that. So we would rather view it as we're teaching defensive skills rather than offensive skills.
It's still not working. It's about safeguarding devices, computers, even phones. Security firm Northrop Grumman sponsors hundreds of these camps around the world.
Cyber can be kind of intimidating. So I think a program like this is so valuable because children are going home and reprogramming their router at their house and making sure that things are a little more safe on their home networks.
This group just finished up a lesson on how to create more secure passwords.
It can be solved in about 30 seconds if you only have numbers. So you have to use uppercase letters, lowercase letters, numbers, and symbols like apostrophes and stuff like that.
But back to the floppy disk.
I just don't know what it is still. It's like a floppy disk.
Well, that's okay, because in here, he won't need one. I'm Chris Welch reporting.
Well, looking ahead to tomorrow, local celebrities are coming together to bowl for a good cause. The Out of the Gutters Celebrity Bowling Tournament is benefiting the Nevada SPCA. This is happening at the Samstown Bowling Center on Boulder Highway, and our very own Las Vegas Morning Blend team will be there. JJ, Micah, and Julie are putting their bowling shoes on. Well, now to that severe weather, fast-moving storms flooding neighborhoods, and there's a new round of hot, dry weather hitting the wildfire zones in the west. Fires now flaring up in Texas as well. Sam Champion is tracking it all for us.
Another day of drenching rain for the more than 50 million people who call the eastern U.S. home. In Lynchburg, Virginia, officials there issuing a warning that the College Lake Dam was at risk of imminent failure. A failure could send up to 17 feet of water into parts of the city of 80,000. 150 homes there now evacuated. Crews working around the clock to stabilize the at-risk dam. In New York City, the National Weather Service confirming Friday that an EF0 tornado tore through 9 city blocks of College Point, Queens.
It was like a matter of 2 minutes maximum, and then everything was fine again.
Cleanup now underway after winds up to 85 miles per hour toppled dozens of trees.
I heard just heavy winds. It shook the house, and then the power went off.
Non-stop rain in North Carolina, forcing roads to flood from the Blue Ridge Mountains to the coast, where some communities have seen more than 10 inches of rain. In Virginia, muddy water destroying parts of the Bella Rose plantation. Even areas in upstate New York underwater. While much of the East Coast is experiencing steady downpours, in Ohio, residents there were victims of sharp, powerful storms. Flash flood warnings continuing into Saturday, and some already soaked places could receive an additional 4 inches. Tornado warnings as far north as New Hampshire. Meteorologists say the next 24 hours could be rough, but there is some good news. Drier air is just behind all this moisture. Linda Lopez, ABC News, New York.
Well, we could use some of that rain out west, that is for sure. Definitely bad to see that out east because they are flooding terribly, but we got a lot of wildfires out west that need that moisture. Take a look at the latest on the Carr fire. It's up almost 10,000 acres from this morning. 141,000 acres have now burned. This is near Redding. Now, the good news is they are making some ground containment up to 41%, but that's still less than half of the fire contained. That is not good. Conditions out there, latest Redding, it is hot, 98 degrees. Look at that dew point, it has dropped drastically, just like ours has, 35 degrees. So bad news, humidity levels so dry. That is not good to see for that fire. So definitely some bad weather actually could fuel that fire a little bit. Take a look, dry up in Northern California. No surprise there. Look at us, we are dry. That monsoon moisture, central Utah, back in eastern Arizona, it has pushed away from us, and it's going to stay away from us for a while. Now, with that gone, temperatures are going to get hot, so another day at 100. So $5,400 donated already to Make-A-Wish from Raising Cane's. Right now, those temperatures still extremely warm. 109 in Las Vegas, currently 114 Henderson. Pahrump, you're sitting at 106. So temperatures definitely not cool. It's a hot one, as you can see along the river. 110 plus for Laughlin, well above that plus. Air quality, definitely something we need to talk about because we have ozone concentrations very high today because of the heat. That will be around the next few afternoons. Also, tonight, we could be watching for some smoke to push in here. That could be around overnight tonight and through the day tomorrow. That's something we're watching. We're not talking about that smoky weather horribly, but you could see a slight haze out there possibly because of some smoke tomorrow morning. So we're watching that. That could affect your air health as well if you do have breathing problems. And actually, smoke can affect anybody regardless of breathing problems or not. The muggy scale, look at this. Hey, last time we were showing this damp, sticky, constantly. Well, now dry. Maybe an uptick on Wednesday, but still comfortable, not even into that damp category. So things looking very dry this upcoming week. Now with that dry weather, we have excessive heat watches in effect for Las Vegas, back to Kingman, back over into Central California for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. They're not warnings yet, but I do believe we're going to actually see a warning 1 or 2 days at least because temperatures are going to be extremely hot again. Tonight, mid-80s expected, so really where we have been, even with those dew points up there, so humidity levels, now that we're dry, that 85 might feel a little better. 76 tonight for Kingman, 93 Death Valley. Hey, they saw overnight lows near 100 degrees, actually above it a few days this past week, so we'll take that. Look at tomorrow, 1 degree cooler possibly than today. We're about the same, 109 for Las Vegas. Air quality, as I mentioned, bad. Allergy counts very low. They're not going to go up. And here's that hot forecast. We're talking 111 on Monday, 112 Tuesday and Wednesday. But the good news, it is going to be dry, low humidities, possibly an uptick in that monsoon moisture by the end of the week, but temperatures do not change a whole lot.
All right, thanks, Dan. Well, the Queen of Country back in Las Vegas tonight. Details on how you can see Shania Twain. And some kids at a Boys and Girls Club show up some police officers their epic competition that's now going viral. Shania Twain returning to a stage on the Las Vegas Strip.
Let's go, girls.
The country pop queen is live in concert tonight at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. The show will start at 8 o'clock, and you can still snag some tickets. It's been almost 4 years since Shania wrapped up her Still the One residency over at Caesars. Well, up next, forget the guard dog. Police say a pig was able to stop a burglary, how he scared off the intruders. And don't forget to download the all-new 13 Action News app. It features live streaming, video on demand, and a handy weather radar. It's free in the App Store and in Google Play. We want to go back to that breaking news we've been following. We have some new details on that hours-long standoff. We now know that that suspect was killed by SWAT officers after 16 hours barricaded in an apartment. 13 Action News reporter Nina Porshunkel live with the latest details from a press conference that just wrapped up. What can you tell us, Nina?
Well, Tom, that barricade actually lasted longer than we initially thought. We said it was a 12-hour barricade. Now, police are telling us that it's actually a 16-hour-long barricade. And it all started last night at around 9 o'clock when a woman flagged down an officer about a man who she said raped her. And officers were able to track this man at a residence where other people who were living in that area said that there is a man in there with firearms. They encountered the suspect, and the suspect said that he wanted to die. Police officers tried to negotiate with him, but he started to fire at the direction of the officers. So for about 16 hours, that suspect refused to cooperate, even though we have SWAT officers and other law enforcement out there trying to ask him to surrender. And of course, as we mentioned, this ended in an officer-involved shooting where that suspect died. Now, it is still unclear if there was any relationship or if the suspect was known to the victim. But for now, that's what the information that was given to us by police just moments ago. Tom?
All right, thanks for the update, Nina. We'll continue to follow that. Well, some kids at the Boys and Girls Club in Salt Lake City, Utah got a surprise they'll never forget when police officers showed up and wanted to prove that they had the best dance moves. Yeah, well, things got really competitive, as you can see there, between those officers and those kids, and now their dance battle is going viral. Well, a homeowner in Indiana says she doesn't need a home alarm system. She has a pet pig. A single mother of 4 kids The homeowner says she's thankful the family wasn't home when crooks shattered the glass on her front door and then kicked their way inside, but police say the suspects didn't actually steal anything. Why? Police say they think they were scared off by the family pig.
They were guessing that whenever the person broke in, that they were probably pretty surprised that I had a pig, and they were like, okay, we don't want to deal with this.
We don't want to deal with this. And just in case you were wondering, the pig's name is Dumplin'. The homeowner says she rescued him earlier this year and it was love at first sight. She says she wishes more people would adopt pet pigs, even if they won't always keep the bad guys away. So, I'd be scared of a pig if I was to break into that house.
Absolutely. Are you kidding?
Yeah. All right, well, here's a look at what's coming up in tonight's primetime lineup right here on ABC. At 8, it's The Good Doctor, followed by 20/20 at 9. Then, of course, keep it right here for 13 Action News live at 11.
Now, maybe they weren't scared by the pig, but it definitely would startle them enough to be like, whoa. Not everyone has a pig in their house. All right, so outside 109 tomorrow. We could have some areas of smoke. We're watching that closely. As of right now, we're not seeing any smoke around the valley, but it could pick up overnight tonight. That tends to happen here in the valley. Overnight, we do tend to pick up a little bit of smoke. Then throughout the day on Sunday, it clears up. That's something we're watching. But look at the numbers. It is going to be a hot week. We're talking temperatures, not the warmest of the year. That's 115, but 112 Tuesday, Wednesday. Excessive heat watch is only in effect. No warnings yet, but a couple of those days probably will be warnings.
You know, it's a cliche, but at least it's a dry heat,
It
right?
is going to be a dry heat this week. And last time we were 115,
a
little humid. No,
the humid, forget it. I need one or the other.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's our news for right now. Stay with us. World News is on up next. We're always on at ktnv.com, our mobile app, our Roku channel. We'll see you right back here in half an hour for 13 Action News Live at 6. Thanks for watching, everyone.